At just 20 years old, Jabari Smith is quickly turning into a really impactful two-way player. In this video, we're going to look at how Smith affects the game on both ends of the court, and how his playstyle fits perfectly in Houston. Now defensively, Jabari is a 6'11 forward with a 7'2 wingspan, and he's comfortable guarding from pretty much every spot on the floor. First, his size and length is obviously enough to make him an above average rim protector, being able to slide over and help and provide extra resistance around the basket. And on top of Jabari's size, he also has the ability to dart and quickly cover ground on the floor.
Two-man game, Wagner going strong.
You'll see him here initially get beat on the perimeter, but watch how Jabari is going to swivel his hips and scramble back down to erase the shot. When matched up with bigger and more physically imposing players, Jabari also has good strength and stability, which allows him to hold his ground, where he can then use his length to extend up and alter the shot. You'll see Jaren Jackson on this play drive right into Jabari's chest, but notice how Smith is able to absorb this contact and keep his base, to then extend up and swap the shot. You can see the same thing here, where Smith again gets beat right on the catch. But notice how Jabari heads off the ball and gets back on this player's hip. And from this spot, his length makes this a really difficult finish. So when defending on the ball, Jabari has this perfect blend of length, strength, and speed, which allows him to step out and guard pretty much any perimeter score. You'll see him here first have the foot speed to slide with the offense's first attack, then the size in the paint to alter this finish. On this play, he's now matched up with Jimmy Butler in the mid-post, and Butler is also one of those players with a unique blend of quickness and strength. But watch how Jabari is able to stay attached to Jimmy on this baseline drive, to then use his size down low to erase the shot. Now when stepping out and guarding quicker backcourt scores, Jabari's balance and stability becomes a major factor, because that allows him to keep his base while guarding these shifty guards who can stop and start to create separation. Notice here how Desmond Bane is going to catch and attack towards his left, and as he starts to turn the corner, watch how he's able to get Jabari's hips to open up, which allows him to create space by stepping back off his right foot. But notice how Jabari has the stability to keep himself on balance, to then lunge out and contest this shot. On this play, it's just him guarding DeJounte Murray one-on-one, and watch how Murray starts skating with the ball back and forth. Then he's going to hesitate and drop his shoulders selling the drive, to then lift up into this right-left pull-up. But notice how Smith is able to keep himself on balance through all these moves, to then extend up and turn this into a really difficult shot. So on the ball, Jabari Smith is quickly turning into one of the most versatile and dynamic defenders across the league, and he also provides a ton of value off the ball. First, Jabari's size and length offers an extra layer of resistance around the basket. Notice here how the Rockets have a mismatch, with Fred VanVleet guarding the 6'10 Paolo Banchero. But notice how Smith from the weak side is going to slide across the paint, and his presence on the block by itself draws Paolo out into a difficult pull-up. When defending off the ball, I also think Jabari has really good awareness, simply knowing where both his man and the ball is. And if there's any kind of defensive breakdown, Smith is always quick to rotate over and disrupt the ball. You'll see Jabari here defending on the weak side of the floor, and as D'Angelo Russell turns the corner and pulls two defenders down towards the ball, notice how Smith is going to rotate over and take away this pass back to AD. And Jabari's mobility also makes him a really effective gap defender, being able to slide down and close off driving lanes, to then scramble back out and contest shots on the perimeter. You'll see Smith again here playing in help against this pick and roll, and he puts himself in perfect position to defend both the roller and his man spotting up. And when the ball gets reversed back to his man, Smith is able to close out and funnel him into a tough contested 2. Now when defending off the ball, there are times when Jabari will get caught falling asleep and lose track of his man on the perimeter, but plays like this are few and far between. Now, when moving on and looking at Jabari's offense, the foundation of his game lays with his spot-up shooting. So far this year, Smith is shooting over 38% on all his catch-and-shoot threes, with a good amount of volume as well.
Smith got it.
When shooting off the catch, there's absolutely no fat in Jabari's shot. The ball always flows from his pocket to set point in one smooth motion. And those swift mechanics allow Jabari to capitalize on small shooting windows. You'll see him here catch the skip pass above his head, but as he lands, notice how quickly Smith finds his shooting base to then get this shot off before the defense can meet him. I like this play here, where Smith is setting this back screen at the slot, and as he pops out behind the three, notice how quickly he organizes his feet into his shot by just stepping left-right and immediately elevating up into his jumper. Now, I've yet to see Jabari do the no-dip jumper, which is when you catch the ball at your set point and flow into your shot. But I do think Smith is getting pretty close to having the shot in his arsenal.
Up top to Smith, contested triple.
When playing off the ball, Jabari also has a really good feel of spacing, constantly shifting to open spots on the perimeter and setting up wide open catch and shoot threes. Watch him here feed the ball down to Şengün, and as his man leaves him to double the ball, Smith is going to shift up towards the top of the key, which gives him plenty of airspace on the catch to get the shot off. And many of these reads are also pretty simple. Right here, you'll see Jabari get stuck and kick the ball out. And from this spot, he's just going to relocate back out to the three and get the ball back for this open jumper. Throughout this season, the Rockets have also been using Jabari a lot as a pick and pop man. Because Houston has multiple guards who can both score from the outside and put pressure on the rim, Smith is able to get a bunch of open catch and shoot threes off of his teammates' gravity. You'll see Jalen Green working off this screen and pull two defenders towards the ball, opening up this routine pass back to Jabari for the jumper. Now, coming into the league, the biggest areas of improvement for Smith was always his ball handling and playmaking. And while I don't think Jabari right now is the most reliable creator with the ball, it's also not something the Rockets necessarily need right now. Again, they've already got three really talented backcourt creators, plus Alperen Şengün, who's quickly turning into one of the best playmaking bigs across the league. I think for Jabari, less can sometimes be more. And Houston right now doesn't really need another creator with the ball. But I do think Jabari is starting to get comfortable putting the ball down and attacking closeouts. Because Smith is a real outside scoring threat, he commonly draws aggressive defensive rotations. And Smith is good at keeping the game simple by attacking into open space to then rise up for these in-between pull-ups. One part of Jabari's game that I would love to see more is his mid-post work. I think Smith has really good touch with these short jumpers. When playing with the ball down low, Smith has really good strength and stability, being able to play through contact and work his way to spots where he can then use his size to elevate over the defense. And from these spots, Jabari also has a really underrated pivot game. Watch him here first rip towards the baseline, to then pick up and pivot back towards the middle, which gets this defender to drop back into the paint, which sets up this jumper back over his left shoulder. I love this move here, where Jabari catches and drops his shoulders, which slightly pushes the defense back, giving Smith the window to pivot into this open space and rise up for a jumper. So overall, I think Jabari Smith is quickly developing into a really effective two-way player. Defensively, he checks pretty much all the boxes, having the physical tools to guard 1 through 5, plus the IQ and awareness to be just as effective when defending off the ball. And then offensively, I think he has the foundation to be one of the best spot-up shooters across the league. He may not have the biggest offensive role for Houston right now, but I still think his current skill set fits perfectly in the Rockets' current system. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments what you think of Jabari Smith's game. The Kid's here.